My first bold take for the 25-26 Cats is that we'll be drinking Burl Brew out of beer as they advance to their first national championship game since 2014.
Carson, I thought we were doing bold takes today, okay? Not facts, not bold facts. We're doing bold takes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to be doing today is some bold takes. Fun episode. Nothing beats making some bold takes because, once again, they're bold takes. We can say whatever we want to say, but Carson and I have some serious bold takes for this Kentucky basketball season that we both think can come to fruition. So we're going to run those by you today, and we want to hear y'all's in the YouTube comments. That's going to be the show right here today on the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI. Joined, as always, by Carson Nash. Carson, I mean, bold takes are just fun. Are they not fun?
Yeah, no, they're awesome because you can say whatever you want.
Exactly.
And the comments can't come at you as hard because it's just a bold take.
It's a bold take. Exactly. I mean, that's the reality. But so this will be a fun one. And like we said, we want to hear y'all's bold takes in the YouTube comments. Everybody, if you're listening to this podcast, go right now and type one bold take for this Kentucky basketball season and let us know. We want to hear what everyone has to say. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate that. Trying to keep growing this thing, and especially as football season approaches and basketball season games. So keep pressing that button. We would really appreciate it. But Carson, I'm going to get into it. Okay? And I think this is going to be my boldest of the day. Okay? And this is going to make some people angry. But Jalen Lowe leads Kentucky in scoring this season. Now, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. That is obviously very bold. We're not that. I think that's the boldest one I have, frankly. But I want to try and get a chance to explain it. Every report that we have heard from summer practice is that Jalen Lowe we thought he was going to be here, and he's here. He's already playing better basketball than we were anticipating him to be playing at this point in the season. He seems to be clicking in the Mark Pope offense. Everything seems to be going really well. And the other point I want to add, a lot of people are going to hear me say that and go, well, he thinks Ortega always going to have a bad season. No, not at all. I just think that this team is capable of having two guys average over 15 points a game. And we saw last year that an inefficient Jalen Lowe, who now, to be fair, did shoot the ball about 70 times a game, was capable of averaging 16.8 points per game. In this year, I think that Jalen Lowe averages over 15 points a game. And yeah, I feel very confident saying that.
No, I like that take. I think with more open offense for him and easier shot quality, I think Lowe could easily average over 15 points. We just have to get that efficiency up, but I think that'll happen.
Exactly. But I mean, that's the point I want to reiterate one more time is that does not mean Ortega always going to have a bad season. That's not what I'm saying. I think Ortega always going to average 16 points per game again. Now, what takes him to the next level, and we've been candid about this for months now, if he gets more consistent as a jump shooter. If he shoots the ball better from three and from pull-up range, then I think there's a world where OA averages 20 easily. But if he stays the same player that we saw last season, I think there's a chance that Lowe beats him out to average more points than him, which is not a bad thing. Carson, what if Lowe averaged 17.2 points a game and OA averaged 16.4? I mean, is anyone upset about that? No, like this happens. College basketball teams can have multiple players average over 15 points. It's happened before. It'll happen again. So that is my first bold take, Carson. Can you one up it? Can you one up my boldness? I want you to at some point because I know you got something bold in there.
Yeah, I wanted to first elaborate on that a little more because I think OA and Lowe can be a yin and a yang, right? Because OA is more of a drive to the rim guy, which will have the defense collapse on him. So if he can get a little bit better at passing, I think that only helps Lowe get to the threshold that you put him at. So I think that could definitely work, and I think Lowe will average over 15 points a game. But my first real bold take, I guess that other one was one of mine too. But I would say I think Yelovich starts at the second half of the season. I think he comes in, and I think he ends up edging out Mo D to start SEC play because he brings a different play style with him. He opens up the floor more. He can run the court. Now, he might not be as good on defense as Mo D, but he is so elite on offense and passing and in the pick and roll situation. And Mark Pope loves to run his offense through his bigs. So I think Yelovich is a perfect piece for that.
I think that this would be a fun experiment. Okay, let's do this, Carson. This will be fun. I don't think this will take too long. And it applies to what you just said. I'm going to say an aspect of basketball, okay? And you're going to give the edge to either Mo D or Yelovich. Okay? Because I think that we're going to go, okay? Mm-hmm. So we'll start there, okay? We'll start with shooting.
Yelovich.
Okay. We'll go to passing.
Yelovich, barely. Okay. I think Bodie's a capable passer, too.
I'd agree. I do agree with you on that. Okay. We will say ball handling.
Yelovich.
Okay. Finesse around the rim.
Ooh. Gosh, this one's close.
Really?
I'm going to go with Yelovich, but I think Mo D is good around the rim.
I agree. I think that Yelovich is going to be really good around the rim. Mo D's not bad. That's not a shot at Mo D.
Well, Yelovich is also 6'11", and Mo D's only 6'7".
It's a good point. It's a good point. So it's easy. You're right. You're right about that. But okay, so we're 4-0 right now. Clean sweep Yelovich. Okay, let's go to shot blocking. I'm
going Mo D.
Okay, let's go to rebounding. I think that one's
Mo D.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. And let's just go like on-ball defense.
Mo D again.
Okay. So are there any other aspects that you'd like to throw in there? I think we said shooting.
You could do like physicality, physicals, athleticism, in which I would go to Mo D again.
I would as well. If you make those two different categories, I think it's 5-5. If you leave it as one, it's 5-4 Yelovich. I'll be honest with you, that I expected that to be more to the side of Yelovich than it ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with
those
all
are
of
close.
the sides we picked.
Like some of those are really close.
But to me, it's this, Carson. Does Yelovich develop as a defender? And does Mo D develop more as an offensive player? And I think whichever side of that happens is who gets the nod once we get 10 games into the season. Both of them are going to be great, but one of them is going to be better. And that's what's going to be decided, is who on the side of the ball that they're not necessarily the best at, who is going to take their game to the next level over the next 2.5 months. And I think Yelovich, but that's part of it, though. I mean, he's a 21-year-old freshman, man, that's been playing professional basketball. So I think people forget, like, he's a freshman, but is he really a freshman? No, he's like 40, it's like in the Hustle with Adam Sandler. Boban. That's what Yelovich is. So I like that, Carson. I don't hate that at all. The only thing I'd say is, heck, I think there's a world where it happens a little earlier than that, but once again, that's not neither Carson nor I are taking a knock at Mo D. We think they're both really good players. My next bold take is, between now and the first 10 minutes of this episode, there will be a Louisville fan in the comments telling us how stupid we are. Is that bold, or is that just going to happen?
That's not bold at all.
Yeah, not bold at all. Not bold at all. Copism in the comments.
Yeah.
But my next one, I don't know how bold this is. I don't think it's as bold as the low take. It's bold, but it's not as bold as the low take. Here it is. JQ, once healthy and on the floor, averages a double-double and leads college basketball in block shots per game. I was talking to Boff about this on the phone yesterday, okay? And this is what I found funny about this, because I told him we were doing this episode today, and I'm like, I need you to tell me how bold this is. And we were both kind of sitting there going it's obviously bold, but it's not.
It's not crazy. Yeah.
12-9 and 3 when it comes to points, rebounds, and blocks is, I think, very, very, very obtainable for Quinn.
Yeah.
Very.
It's just that extra rebound and a couple more blocks.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, so he will average double figure scoring. That I feel very confident in that. The rebounds, I bet it is somewhere in that 8 to 10 range. I think it's going to be in that range, rebounds per game. And then the blocks, I think it's going to be somewhere in the 2.5 to 3.5 range. I think it's going to be in that range. He's the best shot blocker in college basketball. So it's bold, but there is a world where JQ, you look at the end of the season, you go, he leads the nation in blocks and averages double-double, and that's why he's going to be the number 3 overall pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And yeah, like you and Bob were talking about, I don't think that's crazy. Yeah. I think that's very doable for him, especially, he was only 17 years old last year playing. And so, he's only getting better with time. So the finesse around the rim is going to get a little better. Yeah. He may even become more athletic after his surgery. He's got the same wingspan as Anthony Davis. I think all those tangibles are going to be big for him.
Well, in the part you got to remember, last year, I'm pulling up the exact numbers. It was 9.4 points, 7.9 rebounds, and then the blocks, I believe, was 2.6. So we're simply talking about raising his points, a point, and his rebounds 2 rebounds. Yes, I agree. That's a bold take. How often, double doubles are an average is not the most common thing in the world. Well, but I think it's realistic.
Anyone but Oscar Tshiebwe.
Yeah, but that's for him to be a double double, it has to be like 20 and 15. Like a double double doesn't count. But I think that's out there for Quaintance. I'm curious to see how we are rebounding wise as a team. If we end up just being a better rebounding team, then I think he could maybe average, 8.2 rebounds. But if he is a good chunk of our rebounding, then I could see him averaging 10 rebounds per game. I want to ask you a question, Carson, before your next bold take here. Mm-hmm. Did you see the picture going around Twitter? And it was funny. It was like a Boff texted to this morning. It was a positive and a negative because it was JQ dunking in flip-flops.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, it's not very hard for him. But and then Ortega in a boot. Can I have Carson Nash calm down, Big Blue Nation, real quick? Just tell everybody. We know no one knows anything, but tell us.
Yeah, as long, I don't think it's serious. Most of those boots are put in place for precautions. So I'm guessing he just got banged up a little bit in practice and had a boot on. Colin Chandler had one like 2 weeks ago, and he's back in practice. So I think everything will be okay.
I'm looking at it. He's probably got like a barely turned ankle or something, and he's going to get a day or two off practice and then put him in a boot. I'm not worried about it.
It's not that serious if he's not in crutches to begin with.
Yes, exactly. And if it was ligament issues or a bone issue, he'd probably be on crutches. Let's just be honest. So, no doctors here clearly, but I wouldn't worry about it. And JQ is dunking, and we should feel pretty good about that. I'm getting more confident, Carson, in him being game 1 ready.
Oh, me too.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah.
So that'll be huge if he is. So Carson, what's your next bold take? I want to hear it.
Yeah, this one's a little more on the wild side. Because I think by the time that JQ gets fully healthy, which that might be game 1, might be like SEC play, who really knows right now. But I think by that time, Malachi Moreno is the backup center to JQ.
I love that.
I think the Georgetown product, I think he can edge out Brandon Garrison. I think his finesse around the rim is insane. He's every bit of 7'1". And he has great footwork. He's a defensive menace. I think by that time he's got his feet under himself. He's ready for the college game. And I think he edges BG out.
I'll tell you that, to me, his footwork around the rim is a thing of beauty. Did I say it was Drew Timme asked the other day? Is that what I said? And I stand by that. It's beautiful footwork, and footwork leads to open layups around the rim. How many times did Drew Timme just move his body in a way to lay it in?
Even though like 55% of those were walks.
True. But point, is And hey, if they don't call it, it's not a walk.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
I think that BG, I think a lot of people are going to take what Carson and I say over the next 2 or 3 minutes as pure BG disliking as a player, and that's not the case at all. But I will say, there were some times last year where BG did have his deer in headlight moments, and it's unfair to judge him on what happened, last year, knowing that this entire offseason is dedicated to improving on those things. I just think that Moreno might be better than Brandon Garrison. And if that happens, Big Blue Nation, PSA, if that happens, it is a great thing for this basketball team. And the reason that is because we know Brandon Garrison was a serviceable backup center last year behind Amari Williams. And if Malachi Moreno has already beaten him out, knowing he's probably improved a little bit in the offseason, and he's already beaten out a serviceable veteran backup center in college basketball, then Malachi Moreno, the sky's the limit. That's why fans should be excited if that does happen.
Yep. No, I completely agree with you there.
So I think that we need to see Moreno put on. If you asked me right now, I would say that he's put on probably 10 pounds of muscle.
He looks big.
He does. I wouldn't hate 5 more just because the SEC is a physical league. It's tough going from playing Whitley County to playing, Division I SEC basketball teams. It's tough going from playing, Lexington Catholic and Dunbar and all these. Like it's different. It's quite different to playing against Florida and Alabama and Tennessee. And
he's basically in the same matchup he was against Lexington Catholic in practice.
True. That's true. I wonder what happened when those two faced off. I'd be curious about it. I'm sure they played.
Yeah.
But yeah. How old is Potter? Now, this is his 3rd year of college basketball. Moreno.
I think Moreno they played against each other a couple times.
Well, they definitely did. Catholic played Great Crossing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But so, I mean, like I said, that's bold. Once again, that's bold, Carson. But all of the reports we're hearing, I really like the thought of that. I think that it's a very realistic thing that could happen. My next bold take, and I'm going to take it back home, Carson. I'm going to go to our guy, and it is Cam Williams leads the Kentucky Wildcats in 3-point percentage. The only reason I'm not gonna say he leads the team in 3-point makes is because we just don't know if he's going to start yet. But I think that right now we anticipate him coming off of the bench. We anticipate Aberdeen starting. If Williams is one of the first guys off the bench, I think he's going to just be that guy that comes in and absolutely drills threes. And I think he's going to shoot it over 40%. And if you're saying I'm crazy, well, he did it last year at Tulane. I believe it was 41.2% on 4.5 attempts last year at Tulane. He's a shooter. And at 6'8", with that long wingspan he is able to shoot over anybody. There's not many contested shots for him. I think that he's going to have a great season shooting the basketball. I think he's going to turn himself into a great 3-and-D player for the Kentucky Wildcats. And there is a reason mock drafts have him so high. So yes, I think probably in that 3 to 4.5 attempts per game range, Cam Williams leads Kentucky in 3-point shooting percentage.
That's our guy. Our guy. Yeah. I mean, he's got a sniper on him. He can shoot it from Narnia, like I said in previous podcasts. Mm-hmm. He's going to be open and he's going to make it because – I mean, like I said, it's kind of the same thing with Lowe, right? We got so many weapons that the defense is going to collapse, and a lot of these guys are going to have open shots that they haven't had at their previous schools. So I love that one. I think that one will come to fruition.
But I mean, like, to expand on what you just said, Carson, like, imagine this, okay? Let's say Williams comes in and he's running it with Owe, Lowe, Yelovich, and we'll say Moreno. That's who we're going to say is out there. Obviously, we don't know rotations yet. We'll talk about that on a show probably next month or so, but that's what we're going to say is out there, right? and Owe takes it to the rim, and there comes a 7-foot player, and Owe's going, I don't know. I don't think I can finish this one. Well, I'll just kick it out to Lowe, or I'll kick it out to Williams, or I'll kick it out to Yelovich. I mean, I just think that people are concerned about the 3-point shooting on this team compared to last year. And I mean, you've seen that narrative going around, Carson.
I have. I think it's crazy.
I just don't get it. Or Jasper Johnson standing out there on the 3-point line. I mean, all of these players that I am about to name, I think can shoot the basketball. It is realistic for them to shoot the basketball from 3 over 40%. Okay. Lowe, Williams, Cam Williams, Denzel Aberdeen, Colin Chandler, Trent Noah, Jasper Johnson. Am I forgetting anybody that you think?
I would say Yelovich on there.
Yelovich,
I think he gets open shots.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think that, heck, even Mo D shot like 46% from 3 last year. Now
he did 46%.
But still. So, I mean, I am not concerned about the shooting on this basketball team. I'm just not. Now, do we have a Kobe Bryant? Maybe. And his name is Cam Williams. Is he going to be as good of a shooter as Kobe Bryant? No, I'm not saying that. But I think that he could be the closest thing that we have this year. And I heard Cam Williams sat there doing media interviews when he said that he wants to play similar to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is a 6'6", 6'7", knockdown shooter. But Cam Williams can be that, but he's a better defender. He's a better athlete. So, and we saw what Brea just did in Summer League, and I think he's going to make a name for himself in the NBA. So I think Cam Williams is going to be a real stud for this team. We've stated that, but I think that he's going to just shoot the lights out of the ball this year.
No, I completely agree with you. I love it. I genuinely think that's going to happen, though. Yeah. I wouldn't even throw that as a Super Bowl take because I think he's the best shooter on the team.
Yeah.
And we're doing the one more.
I got nowhere to be, man. You keep saying bold takes till you got to go to work. And
all right, I'm going to finish out my first statement because I do think the Cats are going to get to the national championship game this year. I think we just got all the pieces to do it. We have the depth, we have the shooting, we have the rebounding, we have the defense, we got the passing, and more importantly, we have the leadership and the star players to come back in the roster continuity. So I think this team can do it. I think this team at least gets to a Final Four, and I think they edge their way into the championship game.
I love it. The last one I want to throw out there is I think that Mark Pope's going to win Coach of the Year in college basketball.
Those two would go Cohen. Those two would coincide.
And that's why I wanted to add that in there. But yes, if we make it to the Natty, but I just think if we lose like 5, 6, 7 games, if we lose like in that range, I think that he wins Coach of the Year. I mean, he's brought Kentucky basketball back from, some of the, especially the postseason struggles over the last, 5 years previous to him getting here. And he has the, kind of the writings on the wall for if Kentucky has a good season, Mark Pope to win Coach of the Year. I think it's definitely out there for him to do it. So, all right, Carson, last thing, I need you to just go something abysmally insane, bold take for the season. I mean, just crazy. I want people to drop their jaws right now.
Yeah, so mine's actually going to be outside of UK. It's going to be within the SEC, though. I think that Florida, I think the Boogie Flan, Xavier and Lee backcourt fails, and I think they're a top 20 team all season, but they're not nearly as good as people say they are.
And now my one question to you there, I agree with you on the backcourt. I agree with you. I think Boogie, and didn't he just something just happened? Is he injured or something or?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
I think I saw he had he had a sports hernia surgery? He's something that's going on with him. Not like long-term concern, but beside the point. I just think that front court's I think it's the best in college basketball. Their front court. That's my only thing about it.
I think they're going to try to get too crazy and play Hall or whatever his name is at the 3.
I have seen that.
And then it's not going to work out at all because then you don't have the shooters and the ball handling to make anything work.
Yeah, I have seen that. They're talking about going Condon, Howe, and Chinyelu all in there at the same time.
Which won't work. That won't work.
Yeah, they'd be massive, but they're not going to be able to shoot the ball at a high level.
We also got to put the ball on the floor. And when you don't have dribbling, we saw last year, when you don't have people who can beat their guy off the dribble, it's tough to get open shots.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like that. I think that's a good SEC take. All right. I don't have a bold take, but what do you think? What are the top 3 finishers in the SEC this year? I think that's a fun question. I think I've said it. I think Kentucky. I think people are overhyping Florida this year because just for the same reason you said. I think Boogie Fland is an NBA player. He's not a college basketball player. I think that Lee's a solid player, but we'll see. Once again, he's coming over from Princeton. I mean, or whatever it was, Princeton too. So we'll see. I still think, but then again, I think Alabama and Auburn are both down a lot from last year. I think Calipari might have himself a good team this year, but then once again, it's the same old story. What does that matter? What does it matter for Calipari for him to have a good team? Sometimes it doesn't. So, I don't know the order of. I really do think
a lot of teams playing for second place.
I kind of agree with you, but I still think we have 12 teams make the tournament. If not, I've seen people saying we could have 14 again.
No, I think the depth in the SEC is there. I don't think the teams will be nearly as good as they were last year. I mean, Alabama, you lose Mark Sears, you lose Grant Nelson. Auburn, you lose basically your whole team. Yeah. You got Arkansas losing some guys, and I think their transfer portal pickups weren't nearly as good as people think they're going to be. And then Florida, I mean, they got guys coming back, but like I said, it's going to be hard to play all 3 of those front court guys at the same time.
The team that I don't understand, and when we say this is genuinely not meant to be a biased take, it's really not. I just don't get Tennessee. There's a lot of belief in Nate Ament, who I think is a good player, but he's a freshman. I just don't. They're a top 25 team.
Yeah,
but
I don't think their depth is there.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see the Tennessee thing.
They're not going to be as good as they were last year. No way.
I think that all those teams you just listed are better than Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think that Florida, Arkansas, Auburn, Alabama are all better than Tennessee. Obviously, I think Tennessee is in that 6 range. Oh, I got another bold take for you. I saw this the other day. You know who I think is going to be actually good in the SEC this year?
Who?
Underrated? Texas A&M with that new coach.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be, I mean, they're not going to be on the level of those 5 teams, but I think they're going to be better than people think. And I think that coach is actually pretty good. They got, which is thank God. Maybe now we're not going to have to. Kentucky tips at 9 and A&M's playing Missouri at 7, and
they're doing their foul shot.
So
plays.
Have fun at Maryland, Buzz Williams, because oh my gosh, just first of all, the 3-piece suits. I am gonna miss their guy that had the Colonel Sanders look.
Oh yeah, that was their free throw play guy. It was insane.
I'm gonna miss that guy. I like that guy. He had a funny look to him. But I think that's if you want an underrated sneaky team in the SEC, that's one that I think is gonna be solid. But I think I'm bold taked out, Carson.
Yeah, but to go back to your question, who you think's the top 3 finishers? I think Kentucky's the top. I think we win the league this year. I just think we have the best team that there is and the most depth.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually going, as much as I said they're not going to work out, this is how I don't see the SEC being as good as they were last year. I think Florida is number 2, and then I think Arkansas is number 3.
I don't hate it at all. I mean, I'm trying to remember some of the moves. I think Arkansas is going to be good this year. They've got those freshmen again. And I also think that they brought back, I'm not talking about Wagner per se, but I think some of the other players that they brought back are going to be pretty good.
They'll need them to step up a little better than they were last year. But
yes, but I think those guys are going to do that. I think Arkansas is going to be pretty good. I really do. We only play them, one time this year, but they're going to be pretty good, I think. I think I'm going Kentucky, Arkansas, Florida. That's going to go the order I think it goes in. I think that Florida, I still think now, what wins in March, Carson?
Guard play.
And I don't think Florida's going to have it in March. But I do think that their bigs are going to be big enough to dominate to where they do still win, 13 games in SEC play.
Yeah.
And I think in a league that's going to beat itself up again, 13 wins probably puts you in third or fourth place.
The problem with them is going to be shooting, I think, with Florida. You're going to have to watch their shooting because that's what gets you an early exit in March is when you go cold one game. And
exactly. And that's why I think them going 13-5 at the SEC is very realistic. You have a few games, 14-4, 13-5. You have a couple games where you don't shoot the ball well and you lose, but I think they're going to be a good basketball team. We'll have to run through. I want to see the full. I don't want to run through SEC predictions until we see the schedule. Because once again, sometimes it works out perfect where it's like good team, bad team, good team, bad team, good team, bad team, right? But sometimes it works out where it's like you play at Vandy and maybe you win that one, then you play Missouri at home, and then you go Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee on the road, Florida on the road. You go, oh boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so before we do any of that, I want to see the stretches. But I really do, Carson. I believe that I think the Cats win 14. I think they can win 14 games in SEC play, if not 15. Yeah, I think 14 is very realistic. It's a different SEC than it was 10 years ago. I think a 14-4 season in this SEC, and you lose 2, 3. I think 7 losses has us as a 1 or a 2 seed in overall the whole season. So maybe it'll be closer to 5 or 6, but that's so I think that needs to be the goal for sure.
I agree with you.
So, all right, Carson, you got anything else?
That's all I got. Hope everyone has a good Tuesday.
Yep. Hope everyone does have a great rest of their day. Leave your bold takes in the comments. We want to hear them. Be crazy. See if you can say something crazier than us. We'll go as crazy as you can. We want to hear it. Hit that subscribe button. We sure do appreciate y'all doing that. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.